when it comes to the Tampa Bay Lightning. They canceled their practice today. Only select players were meeting with the media. As we know, they had the 3-0 lead after one period of play, but it was the Columbus Blue Jackets who beat them 4-3. This season, Tampa did give up a 3-goal lead. It was back in December to the Flyers, but Tampa was able to hold on in overtime and pick up the win in that one. But I mean, that's an anomaly in a season that's been almost flawless for Tampa. But just, what does that tell you, though, about what Columbus was able to accomplish?
Well, it tells me that anything can happen in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And I think that we had more than that example last night based on the opening games of the series. But I look at Tampa Bay, and I see so many good things. But I wonder how many nights, without really, really going through and scouring their regular season dominance, how many games did Andrei Vasilevsky stand on his lid? Because, again, as good as Tampa Bay can be defensively, I've been told that, there's some weakness there. And I'm not piling on the blue line. I'm just saying that, they'll turn the puck over and they'll give up chances, and they can do that because they're so offensive that they can swap goals. Well, you can't do that in the playoffs. And look, just to revisit some of the drama from last night, I don't know whose call this was, but I'm going to give the Columbus Blue Jackets credit, or the National Hockey League by extension, allowing us to see John Tortorella's speech in that intermission was awesome. I mean, in today's NHL, we're invited into the dressing room pregame and whatnot. You get little snippets. That was just pure gold because it set the scene for that third period, and the Columbus Blue Jackets absolutely took over. I would have put a small amount of money that this series wasn't going to be as easy as some were predicting because of how the Lightning waltzed through the regular season. I believe that Columbus is going to win a couple of games in this series and make it interesting. I did not believe that the Columbus Blue Jackets had it in them to storm back from a 3-0 deficit. So the Jackets deserve a heap of credit.
Well, just to kind of emphasize the whole goalie standing on its head with certain teams. So the Toronto Maple Leafs were actually 8th in the league in shots against, 8th worst. Tampa was 11th worst. So it's not like there was even much of a gap between those two teams as far as giving up shots against per game and having to rely heavily on your goalie.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I think there were different kinds of shots, though.
Sure, if we're going to break down high danger, but I'm saying the goalie was busy, right?
Yeah, and look, Vasilevsky, he might be the Vezina Trophy favorite. He's an exceptional goaltender. He is in the category of elite, but it just goes to show you the importance of the position. Was he okay last night? Yeah, from my vantage point, he looked okay. But when those around you are crumbling a little bit, even with the confidence of the mighty Tampa Bay Lightning, your goaltender has to be better than okay. And history shows us that, the high-quality goaltenders this time of year are usually the ones that lead their teams to a place where you can get to a battle position of winning a Stanley Cup. So there's a lot of hockey left, but Vasilevsky's got to be better too.
And let me just add this, and Darren, you know this, just back to John Tortorella's pregame speech. So the regionals in the U.S. do the games. So Fox Sports Ohio had access to the dressing room, and then they shared it.
Good.
Yeah, it was really good. And to your point, Darren, obviously I think the league is on board with it, but the Columbus Blue Jackets are on board with it, which is good to see.
And I don't care about the F-bombs. That's a pregame speech. That's another thing too. That's another reason why sometimes you wonder if teams are like, no, we don't want a camera in here because we're going to be criticized. No, that's how you pump the guys up, and clearly it got them going. I mean, even though they had a slow start in the first period, I love that kind of stuff. It just kind of brings you on side. And you have to understand it's a privilege to be listening to that kind of stuff. Don't then criticize once you've been allowed to be a fly on the wall.
But I think, too, one of the big things for John, okay, we can talk all we want about the F-bombs and everything. That's fine.
Okay.
But it was the message.
Yeah.
We're not going to go backwards. Right, Darren?
100%. That's exactly what it was. It was the message that, don't read the clippings. Don't worry about the headlines of how great this team is. Do not take that step backwards. Push forward. Believe in yourself. And, the message was clearly received. So that one period could turn this season around for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, that's pretty bold expectation and prediction. But considering how hard that team had to fight and everything they had to do just to qualify for the playoffs, the planets had to align, and the Montreal Canadiens needed to take a step back and all of that, I mean, a period like that just proving that you're worthy of Stanley Cup consideration, and every team is at this stage of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Who knows? That might fuel this team to do something special.